Good morning, students. Today we will be reading about the formation of northern plains of India. The northern plains of India are situated in north of India and in south of Himalayas. These are Himalayas. The northern plains are situated in south of Himalayas. The formation of northern plain, if we see, let's consider that this side is north and this is south. Then Himalayas will be here, and there was a formation of Himalayas occurred when Eurasian plate and Indo-Australian plate both collided, and when it collided, Indo-Australian plate went beneath the Eurasian plate. So here there will be a low-lying area formed. So this low-lying area is northern plain, and it was gradually filled by silt alluvium which was brought by the rivers coming from Himalayas. So there were many rivers which are coming from this side, like Ganga, Yamuna, Indus, river Brahmaputra. So these were the rivers which are coming from Himalaya, and this portion is peninsular plateau. And from this side also rivers were coming, like Chambal, Betwa, river Son. So these were the rivers which were coming from peninsular side. Now gradually these rivers started depositing silt alluvium. During rainy season, whenever the river comes, it will bring lot of soil, mud, pebbles, etc. along with it. And whenever there is flood generally occur in the plain region. So if a river is coming and if it is flooding, the river water will come out of the channel banks and the water will be accumulated here. Now the silt also will be accumulated here. This silt gets deposited. Gradually the water evaporates, or there is some seepage of water. Sometimes the water slowly again come back to the river when amount of rainfall decreases, but the silt remain here. Silt is alluvial soil. So these rivers started depositing alluvium which is known as here, and this gradually resulted in the formation of northern plain. It was not a matter of year or two. It took thousands of years in the formation of Himalaya. Because this area is formed by alluvial soil, this is the most fertile area of the country and one of the most fertile area of the world. Now next is Himalayas. Yesterday, in the previous video, we had discussed the formation of Himalayas. Now today, the ranges of Himalayas. The shape of the Himalayas is arc shape. So these are Himalayas situated here, somewhere in the north of India. This distance is 400 kilometer. This is 150 kilometer. And this is 2400 kilometers. So extension of Himalayas from east to west 2400 kilometers. On the western side in Jammu Kashmir, the width of Himalayas is 400 kilometers, and in Arunachal Pradesh it is only 150 kilometer. So it is less this side and it is broader on the western side. Now if we see the margin, here the river Indus is the western boundary and here the river Brahmaputra is the eastern boundary or margin of the Himalayas. So these are the boundaries of Himalayas. One more question is generally asked on this part, that which river form the western boundary and which form the eastern. Brahmaputra form the eastern and Indus form the western boundary of Himalayas. Now Himalayas are divided into three ranges. The northernmost range is Himalaya. The second range, Himachal, and the third range is Shivalik. Now it appears like the three arcs. This is the innermost arc. We are not considering from point of view of India, but according to the shape. This is the innermost, this is middle, and this is outer. Himadri range, the altitude is maximum. It is average altitude is 6,000 meters. So 6,000 meter is the average altitude. 6,000 meter means around 6 kilometer is the average altitude of Himadri range. So this range is permanently snow covered. Now second range, Himachal. Its altitude is 37002 to 4500 meters. And the third range is Shivalik. 900 to 1100 meters is the average altitude of Shivalik range. Now, I have made a complete arc for Himadri, Himachal, but Shivalik, it is broken. So, these two ranges are continuous ranges without any break. And the third one is not continuous. So, if a question comes, write features. So, one feature can be Shivalik is not continuous, Himadri and Himachal are continuous range. The average altitude you can write. Now Himachal range, most of the hill stations are situated here. Most of the hill stations are situated in Himachal range. Coniferous trees, that is, coniferous trees are present here. Coniferous forests are present here. Hill stations are situated here. In Shivalik range, it is prone to landslide. Landslides occur in this range. Frequent landslide is there because it is made up of unconsolidated sedimentary rocks. So the reason is because these rocks are not very much compressed proper together, so frequent landslide occur in this range. This is strongly joined sedimentary rock. All the three ranges are made up of sedimentary rocks, but the Shivalik range is made up of unconsolidated rocks. Now next is the width of these ranges. Now next is the width of Himachal range is around 50 kilometers. Shivalik range is 10 to 50 kilometers. This is the width of these ranges. Now, one more important question. Most important range of this Himachal range is also further divided into many ranges. So the most important is Pir Panjal. Pir Panjal is the most important range of Himachal range. Further, the other ranges that are the important ranges can be Dauladhar and Mahabharat. These are also the important, but the most important is Pir Panjal range. There are valleys between Shivalik and Himachal. The longitudinal valleys are known as dunes. Between Shivalik and Himachal, there are longitudinal valleys which are known as Doon, like Dehradun. Example is Dehradun. So these are the important features. Achha. Three ranges are made up of sedimentary rock, but the core region of Himadri is made up of igneous rock. The core region of Himadri is made up of igneous rock. This is the important point. Granite. The type of rock is granite. The core region of Himadri is made up of igneous rock, granite. Otherwise, all the ranges are made up of sedimentary rock. Why sedimentary rocks? Because Himalayas were formed by the sediments which were there in the Tethys Sea and which were uplifted by the two plates. When the two plates collided, that is Eurasian and Indo-Australian plate. Is it clear now?